second longest winning streak under Lou Rotino. That is second to the 26-game winning streak that they enjoyed from 1984 through 1986. In the middle of that year, Summit defeated Union here at Cook Memorial Field in a game seen on TV3 by a score of 7-0. Union went on that year to win the state championship, however. That was their third successive title in '86. They did win 4 in a row from '84 through '87.
Now, the last loss then was with Randolph 2 years ago.
6-0, yes.
Right, and it's the last time Union's been shut out.
Well, they won't be shut out today. They lead 7-0. Second and goal, and it is Sheridan again. Sheridan has scored his second touchdown of the day.
Now they go with the belly play, and what makes it interesting is he took it one hole wider to the outside because Randolph Rams stuffed 2 unblocked people into that hole. Were blitzing on the play into the hole that he normally runs in. And this time they took it one hole wider for the touchdown.
4 minutes after their first score, the Farmers put their second touchdown on the board. They lead 13-0 as we await the Caban kick. And it is good. So the Farmers lead by a score of 14-0. And we have a lot of time left, but a long road to hoe for the Randolph Rams.
See, the 2 people come through unblocked, and Sheridan takes the ball to the one hole wider. Joe Quelly got a little bit of shoulder in there on those 2 people, making that play go to the outside.
Second touchdown of the day for Sheridan. His 16th rushing score of the season. And Union will be able to kick off with the wind at their backs. The sophomore Brian Murphy will kick off. He is replacing Johnny Washington, who was injured in the Linden game in the regular season. Washington normally did the kicking and also started both at halfback and linebacker, but was lost for the season with that injury in the Linden game. Caban, a reserve running back, has started since offensively. John Cohen starting defensively for Washington, and Murphy has done the kicking. Ball sails into the end zone, and Randolph will have it at the 20-yard line with 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Union scoring drive, 61 yards. It took them just 6 plays. The big hookup, of course, the pass to Russo for 22 yards. Sheridan, 2-yard run. It is 14-0. Mike McCambly has come on as a receiver for the Rams. He and Mezzacapo in there. Plate, Williams, and McMillan line up behind the quarterback Bauer, and it is Williams. And that play stopped after a 1-yard pickup. Sherrod Williams making the stop. He's a junior, 5'8", 150-pounder. Did not start during the preseason. They were looking to find someone to step up and step into that hole, and Williams came on. They awarded him the starting spot at the beginning of the year, and no one's been able to move him, and he has done a very fine job.
Now, the Farmers burn their second time out now, trying to stop the clock to keep them. Rams trying to move the ball up the field in the wind.
They're going to make them run this play into the wind. 1 timeout remaining for Union. 11 seconds left in the first quarter, 14-0. A very windy afternoon. It generally is windy here, but a little windier than normal and a lot colder than normal. It's probably the coldest day since that semifinal Saturday afternoon in 1987. And for those fans who remember going out to see a high school football game or do anything, shop, walk around the block, that might have been the coldest day we've had in the last 10 years. That was an absolutely brutal day. Fans here trying to stay warm, trying to protect themselves against the elements, but this day might be the second coldest. Randolph, winners of 67 of their last 70 games, but in a hole here. They go on the direct snap to plate, And Plate runs out of bounds, or is ridden out of bounds, stopping the clock with 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Plate short of a first down by about 2 yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 2. Plate, a senior, 5'6", 185 pounds. Not a big backfield. McMillan, 5'6", 140. Williams, 5'7", 170.
But they execute.
So far, the Union defense, though, has been able to prevent Randolph from breaking very many big plays. Williams moves in motion. Again, the snap to Plate, trying the right side, and he is going to be close. Let's see where they mark him. He did not get out of bounds, I don't believe, but it does appear as if he's got a first down. At any rate, that's the end of the first quarter. 14-0, Union on top on a pair of Brian Sheridan touchdowns. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back with more. Stay with us.
The TV3 Sports Team, your best source for information on the local sports scene. The TV3 Game of the Week promises professional coverage of the most exciting matchups of local teams. Suburban High School Sports Report will introduce you to the players and coaches on the sidelines. And Scoreboard, the definitive source for scores of games involving area teams. The TV3 Sports Team, the answer to your sports questions, only on Suburban Cablevision TV3.
We're back at Cook Memorial Field. Matt Laughlin, Dick Zimmer, and Steve Tober. 14-0 Union on top, and they dominate offensively. 95 total yards to just 27 for the Randolph Rams.
The big difference so far, besides the 14 points, is the kicking game and the field position gained from or lost by the kicking game.
Let's send it down to Steve Tober.
We're joined by Christopher Shaw, the Morris Daily Record. And Chris, obviously the coin toss, getting that win at the back, is the ultimate decision right now.
Yeah, I mean, rarely does a coin toss play such a big role, but I mean, Lubertino decided to kick away, make Randolph go against the wind, and it's worked really for 2 touchdowns. I mean, obviously the punt by Bauer, the first one goes -5 yards, and I think what you'll see in the third quarter is he's going to kick it at him again, and they'll have the win in the fourth quarter. Everything is going Union's way right now, Steve.
Now, looking at today's Daily Record, Chris, you wrote in your lead about John Bauer not talking to the media this week. Tell us about this and his decision in that vein.
Well, he's had a hard time with the media this year all year. It's been back and forth, on and off all year, and I think what it was this week is that he was a little bit angry with his team after last week's loss to Livingston. He felt that the only way that this team could possibly have a chance today was to have complete focus, undivided focus on Union, and he decided that he didn't want his kids or himself talking to the media.
Is this something John Sr., the late John Sr., would have done, or is this just a difference between the father and son?
I don't know if, what he would have done. I can just tell you from my dealings with John Sr. that he never turned down an interview ever. So I mean, it's certainly a difference of coaching and a different type of person.
Thank you, Chris. Back upstairs.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Randolph moving the ball a little bit, except on that play where Caban came charging through and John Bauer threw a bullet 1-yard pass to Billy Williams, who did a good job to hold on to it. He wound up picking up about a yard.
I'm surprised it didn't hit him in the helmet.
Yeah. Union with 10 guys within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. Steve Vervelli drops way back, 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. Here's Plate, and he's got some room. David Plate has the first down into Union territory to the 43-yard line. And so the Rams now moving the ball with the wind at their back.
Right, they've gone to that shotgun, but in this shotgun, they have the quarterback or the tailback Bauer up ahead of the fullback in the position where he can do a lot of spinner moves and lateraling. And as soon as that tailback or the fullback Plate is back behind him, it looks like it's going to be a running play. They've been able to turn the corner and block down on the man-to-man coverage and force the Union into the inside and let the ball get to the outside.
Plate with 22 yards. Again, the snap to Plate. They give it to Williams trying the reverse. He's got a wall of blockers, and Williams has a first down to the 31-yard line. That play was almost stopped for a big loss, but Williams was able to break free from the contain, or at least the linemen who were coming through, and then broke it for big yardage.
Now you see how long it takes before the handoff occurs, but Corey Caldwell is down the field so far. Nobody's at ball depth chasing the football. Everybody's on the line of scrimmage, so that washes the whole thing out, and they have people waiting out here to block from outside in. So Union's going to have to maintain the line of scrimmage and have somebody at ball depth.
Again, it's Plate. And Plate gets to the 26-yard line. Carmen Morano tracked Williams down on that play. Don't forget, Morano operating with a recently drained knee. Only going one way today. That's defensively. When I say recent, I mean within the last 4 hours.
Well, he's going to get his exercise of today running laterally. It looks like the Rams are not going to try to attack the middle at all.
Bauer wants to throw for McCambly. McCambly and McMillan run into each other. A first down, however, as the ball is caught at the 20-yard line. McCambly is sophomore, and they're very high, so we understand, on this young man.
Well, it's just a fake to Williams, and Bauer sets up and throws to the outside. The two receivers, bang, bang, collide with each other, but they still get the first down. Both of them were at first down yardage, so he threw the ball in the middle and let them fight for it.
I say, so we understand, and that's simply because this game has been the rumor mill game, if you will. What do you think John Bauer thinks about this club? Chris Shaw and Steve discussed his media blackout. Faking the reverse this time. Clayton keeps it, and he has a short pickup. Gain of about 3, but Randolph moving the ball.
Now, Union has the feel now of what it's like to run that ball to the outside, force it to the sideline, and not try and catch him in the backfield for big losses.
8:40 to play in the first half. Union leading 14-0, but the Rams driving. This drive started on their 20-yard line. They're now inside the Union 20. They've picked up 5 first downs on the drive. Shotgun look. Bauer wants to throw. Throws out in the flat for Plate. Plate has some room and runs into Sheridan, who drives him out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short. And a little jawing on the sideline between Sheridan and some of the Randolph partisans who are along the far sideline.
Well, none of those people have uniforms on, so why waste your time?
It's hard, though, when you're emotionally fired up to rein in your emotions. 3rd down and short. Randolph 2 of 4 in 3rd down conversions. Ball on the ground. Plate picks it up and might have the first down. He's awfully close. Let's see where they mark it. He might be just a little short.
Long yard.
Yeah, going to be about a yard shy. So it'll be 4th down and a little more than a yard. Plate did a good job of picking the ball up off the ground and preventing a loss on the play. Randolph has called a timeout. It's first. And an important 4th down here for John Bauer. So he goes to the play chart to figure out exactly what he wants to do here. John was not at work this week as he prepared all week for this game, looking over film and trying to find some holes in this Union defense. Randolph won 5 consecutive state championships, as that graphic indicated. One of the longest streaks nationally, as they won championships in 86, 87, 88, 89, all of those in Group 3, and also in 1990 in Group 4. And that is a game that, to this day, and people are still talking about it. They may talk about it for another 20 years, and we're still getting requests for that Montclair-Randolph tape. 22-21 final, ended on a field goal when Randolph looked like there was no hope. Montclair had the ball, tried to run out the clock, but they utilized their timeouts properly, and basically everything that could have gone wrong in the last minute did.
Yes.
For Montclair. Anything that went differently. If Williams doesn't handle that punt, a few more seconds or run off, Montclair's the champion. As it turns out, it was Randolph which won the championship in 1990. Here it is, 4th down and short. Late diving forward, and it's going to depend on the old left foot, right foot.
There's so many hands waving over there, you can't tell which way they're pointing. Edgar Cortado has pounded himself on the head. That means time, and they're going to probably measure it.
It looks like from here that they have enough, but we will see. There will be a measurement. We are at a bit of an angle, so we'll wait till the chains are brought out, but I'd say, you know, by about the length of a football, it appears from here that they've got the 1st down.
But one thing they've done extremely well through the years, Randolph.
No, by about half a length of the football, they're short. And so the Farmers take over.
One thing they've done through the years well against bigger teams is spread them out and attack the weaknesses, which are on the flanks usually. They spread you all over the field, and their backs are quick enough to get to the outside, whether it be the fullback or the tailback or the quarterback, and they put outside leverage on you, and it really exercises the weakness of a big kid trying to run laterally all that distance.
So Union takes over, ball just outside the 10-yard line. 7:24 to go in the 1st half. And Quayle with a big hole has the 1st down and more. Still on his feet across the 25-yard line. 16-yard pickup for Quayle, who is having a whale of an afternoon.
Nicely executed here by the offensive line. This is the counter tray play that the Washington Redskins use. He cuts it back inside of the hole as everybody's looking for him on the outside, but he found daylight, goes one-on-one with Williams. Better tuck that ball away because there comes the defensive player from the Rams looking to knock the ball loose.
38 yards for Quayle this afternoon. 1st and 10. Up the middle for Sheridan, and he rumbles for about 8. I'm not so sure that Union at this point cares if they score, but they would love to run out this clock.
Amen. This is what we're talking about before, about especially with the wind in the face, Union wants to control that football. They don't want to give that ball to the Rams in an open field with the wind at their back.
They certainly would take a score. There'll be no complaints there, but leading 14-0, they'd be more than willing just to shorten this game up.
Yes, sir.
But they are moving the ball. 6:17 left in the 1st half. 2nd down and 2. Sheridan again, and he has the 1st down up near the 40-yard line.
Now, how do you take a team out of a special defense? That's what Union just did there. They went to a double wing with 2 tight ends. There's Sheridan, who just finishes that carry, is number 8 for 46 yards, but with the 2 tight ends and two wing backs, it took Randolph out of their special game defense for the Union wing T attack.
Into the face of a stiff breeze, Ed Collins calling signals. He has thrown 1 pass today, good for 22 yards to Tino Russo. Sheridan.
Look for the cutback.
For 5. Gonai with the stop.
Those white shirts are attacking the line of scrimmage, and they're going so fast in pursuit of the football to the weak side that Brian might be able to break that ball back against the grain and take advantage of that quick pursuit.
Jeffrey Gazelle, one of the down linemen for Randolph, hoping to dig in and give his team one more crack at it here in the 1st half. Sheridan grabbed by the ankles and brought down by Blake Shanafy, the 5'10", 175-pound senior guard.
Quick penetration that time underneath the Union blockers. Watch this as they get good penetration underneath. They attack the blockers underneath their pads and then go in pursuit of the football. Everybody closing down, trying to keep their shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage in good football position.
So it is 3rd down and 5. Quayle stopped short by about 2 yards. Well, dilemma time for Lou Rotino. Do you punt into this win, or do you try to go for it, eat up more clock, and rest on your defense?
I think he's going to go for it here.
Rotino on the sideline in his 16th year, the veteran head coach. Now remember that Collins is the punter, so he could drop back. They could try something to draw Randolph offside. Right. But it does appear as if they are going to go for it on 4th down and a long 3. And Caban about 3 yards ahead of the play. It looked like they were trying to draw Randolph off. Randolph moved a little bit, but never entered the neutral zone.
Right, they moved laterally. Right.
Yeah, they never broke the zone. In high school football, once you do that, it's an automatic penalty. You don't get a chance to get back. But the procedure penalty marked off against Union. And now what do you do? Do you definitely punt?
I think he's going to have to punt now. He definitely doesn't want to give him the ball now.
You saw Caban cross in front of you at the bottom portion of your screen.
But one thing we haven't seen Collins on a rollout. He's going to punt.
Williams goes back to receive the punt. He stands back at his 34-yard line.
Kick it to the right so it doesn't stay in the air, so it hits the ground. That's
short
it.
Punt that will roll down at the 40-yard line. So a 19-yard punt. We're going to take a short break here. 2:49 remains. Union on top for Williams. Incomplete, no flag on the play.
Randolph people are begging over there for that one.
Quayle on the coverage. Randolph wants to take advantage of the wind in the final 2:24 and try and put a score on the board and cut their deficit in half. Bauer now 5 for 8 for 27 yards. Joe Quayle was the man on the coverage. Out of respect for the offensive arsenal of the Rams, Union's defense looks unlike a defense we normally see from Union. They like to pack it at the line and say, if you can beat us deep, fine. But they're really talking about beating us deep because they dropped the safety way, way back. Bauer to throw again, right into Corey Caldwell's hands, and incomplete. Glenn McMillan was the intended receiver, but Caldwell, the big 5'10", 265-pound senior, made the stop.
Well, that's one thing John Bauer III does very well. He gets the ball, even in the shotgun, he gets it, releases it very, very quickly. And this time, the first time, Union had their hands in the air on the pass rush and were able to bat the ball down.
Caldwell very quick despite his size, and has done a very good job of playing defensive end for this Farmer team. Here we go, 3rd down and 10. 2:21 to go. Pressure from Kelly, the pass incomplete for Williams. Caban on the coverage. Williams a little slow in getting up.
He got up limping the last pass that was thrown to him when Caban had the coverage on, so this is just a continuation of that.
Yeah, and he is limping again and can't put any pressure on his left foot. He comes off. There he is now being helped to the bench. Bauer will go back to punt. 2:15 remaining. High snap. Good punt with the wind, driving Quayle back to the 10-yard line.
Oh,
Well,
no.
he reverses field and gives back some yards. And the ball's at the 17-yard line, which is where Union will have it with 2:01 to go. 50-yard punt, 7-yard return. Would have been a 10-yard return, except for the 3 yards he gave back at the end.
Yes, yes.
Sean Hart did something like that in the regular season game between Union and Elizabeth, and he turned it into a touchdown, but Quayle does not have that success here.
I think Joe would be the first one to say that he is no Sean Hart.
Brian Stinton has come into the game replacing Williams at the cornerback spot. Let's see if Union tries to attack it. Stinton comes out on Russo. There's Stinton in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Let's see if Union tries to attack it or plays it conservatively, just tries to run out the clock, leading 14-0. They go to Quayle. And Quayle barrel scored for about 4.
If they break it, they break it. If they don't, they kill some time and make positive yardage on the play.
Stinton, a 5'7", 150-pound junior. Randolph, trailing in this game, can ill afford to play the rest of this game without that man. And he looks to be in some pain on the sideline as the training staff attends to his left ankle. Williams, one of the captains, certainly a catalyst of this club. 2nd down and 6. Long count by Collins, and it is Sheridan. And Sheridan is brought down at the 25-yard line. 39 seconds remaining. Randolph has some timeouts left, but they are not electing to call them. Union will have to get a playoff here. Perhaps they're hoping to use them if they get the ball back, but they won't have much time left. And I'm surprised they haven't called a timeout to try to at least force a Union, if they're able to stop them, to punt into the wind. I'm sure that's what they'll do. Union will have to get a playoff. I'm sure they'll quickly call a timeout and force a punt in the wind, but Union could very easily just kneel down on the ball. Well, let's see what happens. Whistle blows, and in fact, they didn't have to get a playoff. That's the end of the first half. So unless I'm mistaken, I thought Randolph had some times out remaining, but perhaps they didn't. Well, now we're told they had 2, but they elect not to use them as they're down 14-0 at halftime. 2 Brian Sheridan scores, and the Farmers on top as they look to defend their championship here at Cook Memorial Field. We'll be back with halftime festivities with a cold Steve Tober and a soon-to-be cold Dick Zimmer right after this.